If I don't even mention the fact that I've been gone for a year, hopefully they won't even notice. Okay, what is up everybody? It's been a while. How have you been? Quiet. I've always liked that about you. So where have I been? A quick recap of what's been going on over the past year. Basically, I've been doing a lot of I've been doing a lot of school and freelance work and just haven't had time to make a video. Yeah, I mean, that's a short example. If you want to just stop it right there, leave, get a sandwich, stop watching the video, you can do that. If you want a detailed explanation, stay a while. Join me. So at almost immediately after I made the last video, I started the fall semester of college, and that was one of the most hectic semesters I think I might have ever had. Basically, I had 2 8-week night courses at the beginning of the semester. So it's everything in the 16-week course condensed down, and I had 2 of them. So it was just insane amounts of work. Towards the end of the courses, I had massive final projects that I had to do that in both classes that both hit me at once, and I barely had time to breathe. But while I was doing all this schoolwork, there was a company emailing me and they're like, hey, can you do animations of our rendering equipment? And so after the fall semester ended, or not the fall semester, after the 2 8-week courses ended, I had a whole bunch of free time. So I started working for them. And it's funny because as a 3D animator, when somebody says rendering equipment, I immediately assume you work for a render farm company, So I'm going to be advertising your render farms. And so I get on a conference call with them. I'm like, yeah, hey, I'm free now. I can work with you and stuff. And they're like, oh, okay, we do this. We're thinking you can make animations for our rendering equipment, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, so what do you have in mind? What do you think the animation would look like? What kind of style do you want it in? Well, we can have an animation that shows meat going in one side and then the processed material coming out the other. And you could hear the record scratch in my brain. I was just like, whoa, hold up. What? And then they explained to me, oh, no, we're a meat rendering company. We make meat processing equipment. And I was like, oh, okay. So basically on the surface level, this stuff looks kind of boring, the stuff I've been doing. It's basically been just maintenance type stuff. The machine disassembles in this way. This part does this part does this. Here's a cross section. Here's what it looks like. It's kind of for advertising too. Again, it looks boring on the surface. If I were to just show it to you, I can't because of NDA stuff. It's proprietary equipment, but I actually really enjoy it. Because it's each project I do, even though it looks really simple, there's at least one new thing in every single project, which I either haven't done before or doesn't work, or I have to work around some kind of weird limitation, based on the machine's design or something. So I end up having to do creative problem solving, and it's really fun. I like it. And also as a freelancer, it's been regular work ever since then. It's regular and it's well paying. So as a freelancer, I can't complain, and I think it's pretty great. Also, I think it was around December, if you remember, or January. You'll remember I did a VR live stream where I tried on the headset and got it set up and stuff like that. And basically I was developing a VR walkthrough for one of their massive processing plants that they were going to show off at some trade show. And that project was insane. It was one of those things, again, like the animations where it's the end result was actually kind of mellow, not really too exciting, but getting that working, I had never developed it. I've experienced in Unreal Engine and stuff like that, but I'd never developed in VR before. So I was learning to develop in VR. I was basically remodeling an entire plant because the AutoCAD files they gave me just wouldn't work. So I had to, they would work, but they wouldn't work how I needed them to work. So I basically had to remodel an entire plant, learn VR at the same time, and then assemble this entire thing on a really tight deadline. That was a crazy project, but it was fun. It turned out really good. According to them, it was a hit at the trade show they showed it off for. Another reason I haven't really made a video in the past year has been because obviously I've been really busy, but I do have free time. And so it's I could have made a video, but I'm going to be completely honest and say I've been kind of bored with animation nodes. I was really conflicted because I felt like I needed to finish this series, and that's what I'm doing now. And I'm not begrudgingly finishing the animation node series. I legitimately want to finish this series because I need to finish it. But it was like, I don't know. I think animation nodes is a great tool. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, me personally, were like part of the excitement of teaching it was like learning it myself and then teaching it. And so I've just been like, I've kind of plateaued where I'm just like, it's a great tool. But I've learned everything I kind of want to learn about it. And so I don't play with it myself anymore. Staying on the animation nodes topic a little bit. A lot of people are asking me to update old videos, and I'm not doing that. That was one of the other reasons I got bored and frustrated with animation nodes, is because like, you know, there were updates that broke things, and then I still can't get animation nodes personally to work in Blender 2.8. Thankfully, the developer Jacques Luc, I still don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's working at the Blender Institute now Blender Institute doing like working on something called function nodes or function branch. And basically what it does is it's animation nodes that's built into Blender, and it's built into the particle system, and it's amazing. And once that comes out, I'm gonna make a ton of videos on it. But if I updated all my old animation nodes videos, I would never be able to make new videos ever. I'd just be constantly updating old ones. Around last fall, I stopped my Patreon. In short, it just wasn't worth it. I mean, I'm incredible. Like, I want to make it really clear. I'm incredibly thankful for everybody who donated their hard-earned money to help support my channel. Like, it means so much. But the reality was, like, it still wasn't like a whole lot of money. I wasn't making a lot, and it just, I don't know, it wasn't worth keeping this thing and trying to keep, which I'm a weird channel. I'm not a personality. I'm not like, hey, hang out with me, you know, buy my merch. It's like, we're plain t-shirts, you know? So there was nothing I could do for rewards. And then it was like, I guess I can show you videos early, but then a whole people weren't watching that. And I don't know, it was a whole big deal. And then once I started getting busy, I felt like I was stealing people's money, because it's like, you were all supporting me, hoping I would make videos, and then I wasn't. And then there was a whole problem with me trying to pause it, but then, surprise, it only pauses for a month, and then charges people again, doesn't tell you that. So, yeah, then I ended up saying, hey, I'm not going to charge you, and then charging people by accident, not being able to refund that, because by the time they told me that they had charged everyone, they had already transferred the money to my bank account, which I can't put back into Patreon to refund people. So that was a whole mess, and I feel like I made a lot of people mad with that, and I feel horrible. So I just stopped Patreon. I'm doing something now called Ko-Fi, Coffee. Oh my god. My IQ is like 4. Anyways, so I'm doing that now. It's not a subscription thing like it is with Patreon, where you pay every month. It's kind of one-off things, $3 here, $5 there, whatever. So I'm going to try that. If you want to support that channel, definitely check it out. Link will be at the end of this video or in the description below. Yeah, if you want to support my channel, that'll help. Any little bit helps. So what's next? With the release of 2.8, it's kind of inspired me to go back and do Blender basic videos. Basically, like, everyone and their mother has been doing it, which means I don't want to just copy them. I don't want to just do that. So what I want to do instead is I want to use animations and stuff, and not just do Blender basics, but do 3D basics as a whole. So explaining fundamental concepts using animations and stuff like that. And then basically just using Blender to demonstrate until we get into the more advanced stuff where I need to actually demonstrate it in software. And then I'll start getting into Blender, but I'm going to try to keep it generic, because 3D is about anything. If you learn something in Blender, you should be able to copy that in almost any software. Also, I want to start getting back into like my own 3D art and like making creative stuff. I've kind of gotten out of this recently because, as I said, I've been working a lot, and I work in 3D animation in Blender. So after working a whole bunch of hours in a day, kind of the last thing I want to do when it's time to kick back and relax is to open up Blender again. Which is kind of unfortunate, because I do actually open up Blender every now and again. Like, I'll be playing video games, and then I'll alt-tab into Blender just to be like, oh, that was a cool shader of a force field or something like that. I wonder if I can recreate that in Eevee. Like, Eevee's fantastic for that. I like playing around, and I think it's fun. but still I haven't gone into like any big projects, you know, making a scene or something like that, you know. So I want to start uploading videos of me making stuff again. And what I was thinking about doing is every time I would do something like that, I would upload 2 videos. Kind of like what I did for the Talon Overworld video, where I had a speed model time lapse with music and stuff. I'm not going to use crazy dubstep anymore. That's really irritating, I know. So I'll have one with like music, more calming, relaxing music, and sped up time lapse, and then I'll upload another one which will be a little bit longer, only parts of it will be sped up, and it'll have me talking over it, kind of breaking down the stuff I'm doing. But it's going to be my own custom stuff, own custom artwork, and I'm looking forward to doing that because that should be pretty fun. Hi! So I recorded that last bit in August, and it is now not August. It's March. Basically, a lot of stuff's been going on. I said a couple things in that video where I was just like, they didn't end up panning out, and so I'm just gonna add this little bit on at the end of the video to let you know kind of what's going on. So first off, the animation nodes video. I was planning on doing an animation nodes video, like I had one made. I actually tried to make it a couple times. It wasn't turning out well. It was just really boring, really complex. Like it wasn't working out. I ended up scrapping it and re-recording it a couple times and then just kind of shelved it. And that's kind of why this video took so long to get out, was because I was planning on releasing this at the same time as I made that video. And so I kept saying like, oh, I'll release it next week. I'll release it next week when I finish. And it wasn't getting finished. And so I'm making this little bit to kind of actually release the video. But don't worry, there's still gonna be, I said I was gonna make 2 more animation nodes videos. I think I'm only gonna make 1. I have some ideas of how I'm gonna handle it, but I'm not gonna say anything quite yet. So plans for the future. Right now I'm focused on finishing up school. I'm graduating in May. Like all my classes are online only now, but they still require a decent amount of work. And I freelance on the side, so I don't have much time for YouTube at the moment. But I'm hoping once I graduate, I'll get a more consistent schedule and I'll be able to do something with YouTube because I think it's fun. I still want to do it. But in the immediate future, something I want to do are game design live streams. So in the fall, I was enrolled in a basic game design class meant for like non-game design majors. And we used a program called Bitsy, which is like, it allows you to make games better than like Scratch or something like that, but it's still very, very basic, meant to teach like kids game design. Actually, in fact, at the school where I work, I'm using it to teach kids game design. Well, anyways, so in this class, me being me, I ended up hacking this software to run like finite state machine AI, and I also ended up making like an entire adventure game with like a story and stuff. So it was pretty cool. You can find links for those both down in the description if you haven't played them already. I think I linked them in like the YouTube posts or whatever, but I'll link those. Anyways, so what I'm doing right now is I'm in an RPG course, and the whole design or the whole goal of the course is to just make your own RPG. And so I'm using the Godot engine and I'm making an RPG. I'll go into more detail on that later. But what I'm thinking is every Thursday, maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something, but I'm thinking Thursdays for now, I'm gonna do a live stream. So just basically me designing the game, and you know, we'll be able to chat, hang out, stuff like that. And then every week I'll have new builds and you can help me playtest if you want to. And that'll be kind of cool. You'll get to see the game develop and work and hopefully release one day. So thanks for all of you who stayed subscribed and waiting for new content. More stuff will be coming soon, I promise. And with that said, I will see you next time.